ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणी भगवती अष्टादशाध्यायिनी अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणी. So we finished the ninth chapter. Chapter titled Raja Vidya, Raja Guhya Yoga. So that exact knowledge, what was titled Raja Vidya, Raja Guhya, that was taken up in the verses Maya tatamidam sarvam jagadavyaktamurthina matsthani sarvabhutani nachaham teshvavastitaha nachamatstani bhutani pashyame yoga Ishwaram. And to explain that, bhuta brun nacha bhutastaha mamatma bhuta bhavana. And then to give a example for that, in the context of sthiti of the jagat, you had yata akasha sthito nityam. That akasha example was given. And then for laya and utpatti, Bhagavan had spoken of prakritika pralaya. Remember? The final dissolution, wherein he spoke of sarva bhutani kaunteya prakritim yanti mamikam kalpakshaye punastani kalpadau visrajamyaham. You can see that shift happening. Maya tatamidam and all, Bhagavan had spoken about that highest reality, Shuddha Chaitanya, that Param Brahma, that highest, wherein there is also no world at all. Nachamatstani bhutani pashyami yoga Ishwara. And then slowly Bhagavan moved from there and spoke of himself as the creator, sustainer, and the one in whom everything dissolves. Now that creatorship, sustainership, all these things, those all belong to Saguna Brahma. Those all move to the context of Ishwara. So the highest reality was spoken of, and then Bhagavan moved towards Saguna Brahma. Saguna Brahma, Savishesha Brahma. Vishesha, Guna, they all mean the same. So that Ishwara, with the nature of Lord, as the Lord of the universe, creator, sustainer, and all those things. And then Bhagavan went on to say, in the midst of all these things, I remain asanga. I remain detached. I remain untouched. Where he had spoken of udasina vadasinam. Verse number 9. Udasina vadasinam asaktam teshu karmasu. Maya Adhyakshena Prakritihi. So in his Adhyaksha, in his presence, Ishwara, in the presence of that reality, in the context of the world. Therefore, it is again, there is that Ishwara as the mere presence. So this is that Ishwara Sakshi. Like how you have with respect to the individual, the Jiva Sakshi. So there also, Ishwara speaks of himself as the Sakshi. And as the Sakshi, Ishwara is the Adhyaksha. Adhyaksha, one who presides over. Then, in my presence as the Adhyaksha, Prakriti creates the world. And into Prakriti, all these worlds dissolve. Maya Adhyakshena Prakritihi Suyate Sacharacharam. And because of that, the entire Jagat Viparivartate. So from Brahman, he brings us to the context of Ishwara, and in the context of Ishwara himself, he shows himself to be the Ishwara Sakshi. So all those things Bhagavan presents. And then he says, but they look at me and they think I am also a certain embodiment. Avajananti mam mudaha. Why? Manushim tanum ashritam. Since I appear to be with the human embodiment, I am not recognized by these people who are carried away by my externality. But Arjuna, you know who I am. Because I have explained to you myself from the context of the ultimate, from the context of the creation as Ishvara, and with respect to Prakriti, I am also the mere witness, the mere Sakshi. In my presence, Prakriti functions. I am the very Sakshi there. So thus, Bhagavan shows his nature in various ways. And then he moves on to say, those who are mogashaha, mogakarmanaha, mogajnanaha. Verse number 12. And who are those people? They have taken recourse to the Rajasic and the Tamasic aspects of Prakriti. And therefore, everything goes in vain. Nothing that they do is of actual value. Whereas Mahatmas, how are they? Bhajanti ananya manasaha. Knowing me as the highest reality. Even those who are sadhakas, they pursue the path of devotion. And to me, satatam kirtayanto mam. Right? That devotion whereby they worship me as presented by the Shastras. Satatam kirtayanto mam. Yatantasya dridhavrataha. Practicing various sadhanas, nityayuktaha upasate. They come to meditation. And even in that meditation, even in that worship of the Lord through stilling the mind, there again you find people having a variety of approaches. Ekatvena. So here are those people who see their oneness with me. And then you have those pratatvena who see me as different from themselves. Pratatvena. And that bahudha. Various possibilities are there in that. Various possibilities as Shiva, as Vishnu, as whatever. The various possibilities as Krishna, as Rama. Various possibilities are there. But this is not the end of it, because I can be worshipped in any form and any manner. Bahuda, he had said, right? Then he spoke of Vishwato Mukam. Vishwato Mukam, me available in various facets. And to explain that, he takes up Aham Kraturaham Yajnaha, verse number 16 to verse number 19. Tapam Yahamaham Varsham Nigrinnam. So Tapam Yahamaham Varsham and all is Aditya, is a sun. So even the deities are worshipped as me by those devotees. Now, you have those who are not at this point devotee of the Lord. Whether it is Ekatvena or Prataktvena Bahuda or Vishwatomukam. How are they then? They are those who worship the deities with a feeling that these deities are other than me. Actually, they are me only, but they don't connect to me. They connect with the deities as though they are somebody separate and other than me. And there, what is the result they get? The result they get is what? They reach that loka, what they desire, and finally at the end of the punya, they return back. Shene punye martyalokam vishanti. So what is it they gain? Gatagatam kama kamaha labante. They gain only the finite. Whereas those Mahatmas, even though they do not seek anything, they don't wish for anything, but I, as Ishwara, take care of all their requirements. Yogakshemam vahamyaham. The point is, even those deities to whom they go and worship, it doesn't happen for them this. What doesn't happen for them this? Even though they worship the Lord alone, since they do not consider the deity whom they worship is the Lord, therefore what happens for them? Therefore, they have not captured the essence of what is truth, and therefore their worship is limited. Their worship is based on ignorance. Yajanti avidipurvakam. And therefore, the truth is what? Aham hi sarvayajnanam bhokta cha prabhu. I am both the one to whom all offerings are done and the one by whom all results are provided. I only wish they could connect with me knowing who I am. But that ignorance causes the difficulty, and therefore what happens? What they gain is also finite. Yanti devavrataha devan pitrun yanti pitruvrataha bhutani yanti bhutejyaha. Worship is the same, but you see that ignorance has played havoc. If only they could connect with me, what would have happened? Yanti madhyajinopi mam. The effort being the same, just not knowing and not being committed to me, that causes all the difference. What do I need? Patram, pushpam, phalam, toyam, yo me bhaktya prayachati. I don't ask for this or that. I don't seek anything. If out of love you give anything, I accept that. It could be anything significant. Patram, pushpam, phalam, toyam. But the very fact that you have given it with love and devotion, I accept it. Not only you don't have to give me anything, actually, yad karoshi, yadashnasi, yadjuhoshi, whatever you do, whatever you eat, you don't have to give anything. Whatever you eat, whatever work you do, whatever worship you offer, all of them, Tat Kurushva Madarpanam. Offer it as an offering unto me. That is sufficient. This way, that devotee will liberate himself, herself from all punya and papa, and finally, vimuktaha mam upaishyasi. It may look as though that I am very partial to my devotees and enabling them to gain the highest, and those who are not connected with me, it may look as though they are not gaining the ultimate, but that's not because of me. Why? I am equal to all. Samoham sarvabhuteshu. Me as that consciousness principle, I am equal to all. Name dveshyosti na priyaha. Neither is anyone hateworthy or lovable for me. I am same for all. But then those who invoke devotion in their hearts for me, ye bhajanti tumam bhaktya mayite. The power of devotion is such that makes them established in me. And what about me? I too am in them. What do you mean, I too? The Lord too is in them. It means, since they worship the Lord is available. Since they see the Lord in everything, the Lord is available to them, both in their aham vritti and in their idam vritti. The object of that aham vritti, the I, that is also the Lord. The object of idam vritti, that is also the Lord. And the power of devotion is such that it is highly transformative. Apiche suduracharha bhajate mam ananya bhag sadhureva samantavyaha. That very devotion transforms that individual instantly if that person is able to connect with me fully. Bhajate mam ananya bhag. Kshipram bhavati dharmatma. Such a person becomes an embodiment of dharma the very moment the Lord enters into their hearts. Kshipram bhavati dharmatma. And that purity of their hearts will take them to that ultimate realization. And therefore, Arjuna, you know what devotion does. Since you have been a direct recipient of devotion, your devotion to the Lord has blessed you so far, so much. Therefore, you ought to do this. Kaunteya pratijani. Go declare. What should you declare? Name Bhaktah Pranashyati. The devotee of the Lord never perishes. This is a glory of devotion, Arjuna. That devotion can transform even the so-called weaknesses into strengths. Even those who have certain erroneous thinking in their hearts, if that erroneous thinking is directed towards me, that very same attitude of error, that becomes a power. Why? Because now I become the object of that weakness. A weakness is a weakness only if it is for the world. The weakness becomes transformative if it is with respect to me. Apichet suduracharaha, not only that, mam hi partha vyapashritya episyuhu papayonayaha. Even if at birth they have these negative tendencies, all of those tendencies are turned into positivities. Why? Because I become the object for their negativity. When I become an object for negativity, since the object is not the world, but the object is the Lord, that becomes very transformative. See, Arjuna, the glory of devotion. If negativities can be transformed to positivities and bring about the greatest result, what if somebody is blessed naturally with positivities? Kim punaha? So with Kaimutika Jnaya, Bhaktaha Rajarshayaha, Punyaha Brahmanaha. And therefore, waste not a moment. You have gained this realm which is anityam and asukam. All that you can do and all that you must do is to use every minute to the right pursuit. the pursuit of the Lord. Anityam asukam lokam imam prapya bhajasvama. So, what you should do? Manmana bhava. Devote yourself to the Lord. Manmana bhava. Let your heart be soaked with love. Manmana bhava. Mad bhakto bhava. And let your heart be totally in adoration unto me. Madhyaji bhava. May your worship be directed towards me. Mam namaskuru. And let your individuality end in me. Mameva yeshyasi yuktva evam atmanam matparayana. In this way, when you unite your mind with me, you shall reach me and me alone, for sure, doubtlessly. Mameva yeshyasi yuktva evam atmanam matparayanaha. So when thus I become the all in all for you, Arjuna, you shall certainly reach me. So this was the whole of the 9th chapter. So now we enter into the 10th chapter. The 10th chapter, Bhagavan, in order to facilitate that manmana bhava, mad bhakto bhava, the last verse there. Shall we read that verse together? Manmana bhava mad
Bhaktah madhyaji mam namaskuru mame vaishyasi yuktvevam atmanam matparayanaha.
So even though chapter 9 started with that highest reality, slowly Bhagavan took the attention of Arjuna to the Ishwara and concluded by saying, Manmana bhava mad bhakto bhava madhyaji mam namaskuru. So that here, that mam is that Ishwara. That devotion, that adoration, that love, that dissolution of the individuality. Which Ishwara? That Ishwara about which he had spoken. Aham hi sarva yajnanam bhokta cha prabhure vacha. Ananya shintayanto mam yejana paryupasate. That is probably the highest. Even with respect to Ishwara, that is fine. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktya prayachati. There again, that Ishwara. Tadaham bhaktyupahrutam. Yat karoshi yadashnasi yad juhoshi dadasi yat tapasyasi kaunteya tat kurushva madarpanam. So all of them is that Ishwara. Shubha shubha phalairevam mokshase karma bandhanaihi. So I as Ishwara, when you perform this way, I shall ensure you. So this way, Bhagavan showed Arjuna the worship of the Lord, the Saguna Brahma, the Ishwara. Now in order to facilitate that kind of devotion of the Lord, Manmana bhava, mat bhakto bhava, madhyaji bhava, mam namaskuru. In order to facilitate that, in the 10th chapter, Bhagavan speaks about the result of that upasana. Of course, the result is everywhere there, but Bhagavan takes up that, speaks also about that Ishvara's sarvajñatva. Sarvajñatva, all knowership. Sarveshwaratva, all controllership. And he fulfilling the wish of the devotee. Bhaktah anugrahakatva, blessing the devotee. and also to show the various manifestations of the Lord. Vibhuti. This becomes a very, very essential and a detailed description of the 10th chapter, that Vibhuti. So for all these purposes, what are the purposes? Number one, to show the upasana phala, the fruit of the worship of that Saguna. And in order to facilitate, all of them are for facilitating that upasana, to show that Lord's sarvajñatva, sarveshwaratva, sarvartha pradatritva. Can you understand this word? Sarva artha, sarvartha, pradatritva. Pradatritva, to give, to bless, to give. Pradatritva. And next one, Bhaktah anugrahakatva. That Bhagavan being the blessing, Bhagavan having that blessing nature. And then finally, in order to detail Bhagavan's various manifestations, so that one can connect with Bhagavan with love, with adoration, and with devotion and worship in one's heart. Once one sees the glory of Bhagavan in all its detail, in all its manifestation, it's easier to offer one's love. See, where you see the glory, and where you see the kindness, and where you see love being reflected, there you can have love. It's easier for you. So that Bhagavan helps the devotee comprehend all these things. Yes, once one knows Bhagavan, Sarvajña, Sarveshwara, etc., then itself a lot of love and devotion and respect springs from one's heart. Now when the chapter is taken to detail this alone in detail, then what happens? It's easier to offer oneself to the Lord. So that is what Bhagavan strives here. Okay? Now let us start. So Bhagavan first shows to Arjuna, Bhagavan says certain things to Arjuna in order to get that, what can I say, to attract Arjuna to listen to what he is going to say. For that upasana, for that worship of the Lord, the mind has to move in that direction. So in order to capture that mind of Arjuna and to attract Arjuna's mind, manaha ranjayitum, to attract, okay, to create that feeling. So Bhagavan, the first few verses, he presents as an introduction. Sri Bhagavan Vacha. Om Shri Paramatma.
Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha. Adha Dashamodhyayaha. Vibhuti Yoga. Sri Bhagavan Vacha. Bhuya eva Mahabaho. Shrunu me paramam vajaha. Yatteham priyamanaya. Vakshyami hita kamyaya. Sri Bhagavan Vacha. Bhuya eva Mahabaho. Shrinu me paramam vajaha. यत्तेऽहं प्रीयमाणाय वक्ष्यामि हितकाम्यया.
Hey Mahabaho, or Arjuna, Mahabaho, O strong-armed, usually given for such expressions given for Kshatriyas, warriors. Bhuya, Hey Mahabaho, Bhuyaha, Bhuyaha again. Why again? Because it is very subtle, Parama Sukshmatvat, very subtle. And even if explained, not immediately comprehended, Durvigneyatvat. I am using some Sanskrit words, okay? Because it's very subtle, not possible to immediately comprehend. Why? Because it is beyond our vyavahara. It's not what we experience, what we see, what we interact with in a daily basis. Bhuyaha. Therefore, once more, Bhuyaha again. That very glory of the Lord which I have strived, which I have tried to explain to you, again. Bhuyaha me paramam vachaha shrunu. Me, mine, mama, paramam vachaha. Paramam vachaha, vachaha, words, paramam vachaha, those highest words. What do you mean highest words? Those words which embody the knowledge of the highest reality. Paramam. Paramam. And also, that words which will deliver for you the highest result. The words which embody the highest and the words which will deliver for you the highest result. And therefore, Paramam. By content, it is Paramam, and by result too, it is Paramam. Hey Mahabaho, Bhuyaha me Paramam Vachaha Shrunu. And I don't have any hesitation about repeating it to give you more details and elaboration. Why? Because you inspire me. Priyamanaya. Because I can see from your face that you are enjoying it. Priyamanaya. Priyamanaya, one who is relishing. Priyamanaya is fourth case. Te Priyamanaya. Te Priyamanaya. You, of you, for you, how are you? You are Priyamanaya. You are looking at me with great intent, great joy, and with great inner delight. And therefore, it inspires me to see how you are enjoying it, and therefore, again I shall explain to you in a greater detail. Priyamanaya. Not only that, not only you are enjoying, and therefore I am again going to say this in greater, again saying the same message but in a different way, with some more details, with some more additions, with more clarity. I'm going to say, not only because you are enjoying, but I also have a purpose. What is that? Hita kamyaya. Te hita kamyaya. Hita kamyaya, with the wish to help you. Hita, with a wish to benefit you. And what is that hita I have in mind? That hita, what I have in mind, is that ultimate realization itself. That is my final goal. So, te priyamanaya hitakamyaya yat vakshyami. Yat vakshyami, what I am going to tell, what I am going to explain. And that what? Tat shrunu. Please listen. That shrunu you have to add. So now you see how it is. Mahabaho Bhuya eva me paramam vachaha shrunu. That is the first sentence. Hey Mahabaho Bhuya eva. Once more. Me paramam vachaha, my supreme words. Please listen. Shrunu. Now, next sentence you see. Priyamanayate. Or te priyamana, doesn't matter. Priyamanayate, to one who is delighting in what I am saying. Hitakamyaya, with a desire to bless you, to benefit you. Hitakamyaya. Yat vakshyami. What I am saying, yat vakshyami, tat shrunu. Please listen. Why, Bhagavan, you are taking this effort to explain to me? Can't I not go and take this kind of tuition from somebody else? Again you are telling the class the teacher teaches, then again you go to tuition teacher and then you study. Oh, I can go to somebody else. No. This you cannot go for tuition anywhere. Why? Next verse you see.
Nami.
He's laughing.
Name vidussuraganaha prabhavam namaharshyaha ahamadirhi devanam maharshinam cha sarvashaha Name vidussuraganaha prabhavam namaharshyaha ahamadirhi devanam maharshinam cha sarvashaha.
That is because nobody knows it like me. Why? There are a lot of Maharishis are there and I am well connected. Vedavyasa is he comes to our home. I know him very well. Maharshis, all of them. Other Maharshis also, I know Bhrugu and all of them. I know all of them. Suraganaha, and I have gone to heaven also once. With Indra also I had my evening tea and all I have had with me. And I am a welcome guest everywhere. Lots of people who can enlighten me if you want. No. Name vidu suraganaha prabhavam namaharshayaha. Suraganaha, Indra and others. Maharshayaha, Vedavyasa and others. Bhrugu and others. Me prabhavam. My. Me is my. Prabhavam, prabhavam. Glory. The glory of Parameshwara, the glory of the Supreme Lord. What glory of the Supreme Lord? Srishti, Sthiti, Laya. That capacity for Srishti, Sthiti, Laya. Not only that, after Srishti, Sthiti, Laya, to enter every being as the Jiva, Pravesha. Not only that, after having entered inside, as Antaryami to govern and master and control. And not only that, as per their actions to give the results. And to all those who are devoted to also bless them. this enormous capacity of mind which cannot be detailed in every way, all these abilities, sarvashaha na viduhu. In total, they do not know. They know. I am not saying they do not know, but absolutely do they know? If I ask, no, they will not know. Why is that? Because Devanam, Maharshinam, cha aham adihi. I am the very cause of the Devanam. Devanam, all the Devtas. Brahma Devanam Pratamassambhavuva. I am before Brahma. This Brahma was born before. Hiranyagarbha was born before all the Devtas, but I am before even Hiranyagarbha. Adihi. Not only am I Adi that way, Karanam that way, but also I am the Karanam for their beginning. I am the Karana for their glory, Vaibhava. I am the Karana for the Maharshi's Tapassiddhi. I am the Karana for their Yoga Siddhi. I am the Karana for everything that they have. That being the case, I am very well known. Tasmacha deva bahuda samprasuta sadhya manushya pashavo vayamsi. Mundakopanishad. So, I am the Adi for all of them, and all that powers and glories and everything that they possess, for that also I am the cause. That being the case, how will they know me, who is their Adi, their Karana? How will they know me in fullness? You tell me. They are knowledgeable, they are wise, they are glorious, but I am the cause for their knowledge, I am the cause for their wisdom, I am the cause for their glory. The child can know as they grow the greatness and glory of their parents to some extent. But can the child know fully the glory of their parents? That which is the effect cannot know in fullness the cause. In toto, it is not possible. And therefore, Arjuna, I think I have to take this special duty to tell you about my glory. Then only I will feel I have done justice. I can entrust to others, but I am not sure they can do justice. Not because they don't want to do justice, that is just because I am the very cause of all of them, and they will not be able to know me in toto. I have to do that. Name vidu suraganaha prabhavam na maharshayaha aham adirhi devanam maharshinam cha sarvashaha. Me prabhavaha suraganaha sarvashaha na viduhu maharshayaha api sarvashaha na viduhu. Viduhu sarvashaha na viduhu. They know, but they cannot know in toto, fully, because of their limitations, whereas I know my glory fully, because it is me and it is my glory. Therefore, I shall explain to you in total. You will not have a better teacher than me. Indirectly, Bhagavan is telling. It's not good to tell, no, I am the best teacher. So Bhagavan is telling in a roundabout way. Not that they do not know, they know, but I know better than them. Not because they do not know, but because they cannot know, because like that. Therefore, Arjuna, Be ready. I'm going to tell you some interesting things. Okay. Tomorrow we'll see further.